Hi, my name is Kristen Ullman, and along with the rest of the St. Andrews Youth Group, we spent the past week at SSP Sierra Service Project Walker River, working on the Paiute Indian Reservation in Schurz, Nevada. Today's reading spoke about how, with the help of God and the power of love, each of us is able to accomplish much more than we could ever imagine. This was my first time at Sierra Service Project, and although I had very high expectations for the week, I had no idea how deeply the experience would affect me. I had heard about SSP from my friends who had gone there previously, and I'd always wanted to go, but this was really my first opportunity, and I'm so glad that I was able to experience it. Life is really all about love when you get down to it. And although that might seem like the most obvious and cliche and repeated thing ever spoken, one of the most important things I learned while at SSP was that love isn't always easy. Love is challenging, and our society's tendencies work against the progress of compassion. By teaching us and encouraging us to break down boundaries and open up to other people, SSP created the perfect environment for true and pure love to blossom. This sort of experience isn't easy to explain to someone who has never participated in a program like Sierra Service Project. To an outsider, it must seem absurd and ridiculous to form such a deep, strong, and lasting bond with a group of people who should be strangers. SSP is its own society that doesn't follow the rules of everyday life. Instead of judging a relationship by its length, SSP relationships are based on depth and shared experiences. Each day on the work site, we learned more about the members of our group, and through them, we learned more about people in general. Through understanding, we learned to deeply love our work groups. Each had a different story, and this diversity of experience taught us to love and seek to understand our homeowners as well. This feeling of wanting to know and understand a person is extremely moving. I believe that it is this feeling that drives people to continue to serve others throughout their lives. One of my core beliefs is that because I have been given so much in my life, I have a strong obligation to use my gifts to better the world. SSP taught us to learn about others in order to understand them, and to understand them deeply in order to love them. Each of the following speakers had a similar experience in that they, like me, learned more about love, life, and service, but every person was brought to change personally and brought to change in a different way. And here are their experiences.
My name is Michaela Rogers. This is my first SSP. The theme for the week was the parable of the sower from the book of Matthew. The same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat beside the sea. Such great crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat there, while the whole crowd stood on the beach. And he told them many things in the parables, saying, "Listen, a sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seeds fell on the path, and the birds came and ate them up. Other seeds fell on rocky ground where they did not have much soil, and they sprang up quickly, since they had no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, they were scorched, and since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil, and brought forth grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Let anyone with ears listen." This stuck out to me this week, especially when I began to think about who I was spending my week with. A group of high schoolers and dedicated counselors from California and Arizona giving up a week of their beautiful summer to serve God and people in need. The parable of the sower talks about some seeds withering away and some springing up quickly but having no soil for their roots, while others fell in healthy, nurtured soil yielding a crop. This week, I felt like while I was roofing with 6 other people in the hot desert sun, how wonderful it was to spend time with the seeds that yielded such a big crop and left the site with a visible product in the form of new paint, new roofs, or new decks. I encourage all of you to be the seed that falls on nurtured soil.
Hi, I'm Calvin Sturmer, and like many of the other people who went with us this year, this was my first trip to SSP, and I really didn't know what to expect, because last year when we went to Mississippi, I had a great time, but I heard that would be different, and I don't know if it would be as much fun, but I was wrong. I had way more fun at SSP than I did at Mississippi last year. So, and this trip was probably one of the most rewarding things I've done in my life, to be able to help these people who had so little. As Irene today said, with God's help, we can do anything, we can do more than anyone imagined. So, and my work team, we did that. We had 8 youth from Mesa, Arizona, Turlock, California, Ridgecrest, California, and Saratoga, and 2 adult leaders. And we had to build a deck for an elderly woman who had arthritis, and it was hard for her to move around. So we built a deck. We were going to build a deck with a roof on top of it so she can get out and sit outside, but have some shade from the hot summer sun. So we were the first people to start this deck, and at the beginning of the week, our build coordinator said that he'd be happy if we just put up a deck and didn't put the roof or stairs or anything on it, just get the deck up and make it look nice. And so we're all like, okay, that seems reasonable. We'll see if we can get that done. But as the week progressed, it seems as if we were on a mission, if God was by our side helping us work, because we were working fast and we were making great progress, and it was looking really good. The adult staff was amazed by what we could finish and the quality of the work that we were doing. And by the end of the week, we finished our deck, the stairs, and built the frame for the roof. And so I felt really close to God, because I felt that He was there by our side, helping us complete this task and making it better for everyone around us. And so that's why I love this SSP trip so much.
My name is Jesselyn Rogers. This is my first year at SSP. We awoke to bright lights and a cappella music. Some would sit up in their sleeping bags immediately. Most would cover their ears and eyes with pillows for a few more minutes. I would rub my eyes, bind my hair into a bun, and then get dressed and head outside. There, a circle would be gathering, plastic cups in hand. A steaming pot of hot cocoa was in the middle. We served each other hot chocolate after learning something about the other person, such as their first class presentation or first CD, or in some cases, first LP they had purchased. Then spiritual awakening would begin. The leader, Kurt, would read from scripture and we would discuss it. We also sang songs and did short activities that helped us get to know each other and God. Friday's spiritual awakening was particularly memorable. We walked around a circle and shared what God had said to our partner. I received some fantastic advice, such as, "It will all be okay, you are always loved, and I am everywhere." My own message came when we went for a mini hike and I was standing on a large hill. I realized that anything I could see could also see me. When you are in the sight of the desert, or the mountains, or the sun, or the moon, or the stars, you are in the sight of God. Act accordingly.